This is the story about Paco and Robert learning lessons from Jesus.
I'm Paco.
I'm Robert.
This is the gospel according to us. This is the gospel according to us.
This is the gospel according
To us. Hello, Robert. Happy Epiphany.
How on earth do you know?
Know what?
That I've just had an epiphany, of course. Although I wouldn't exactly call it happy.
Oh, I see. You've been pondering again, haven't you?
I don't know about pondering, but I have been thinking.
Yes, that's what pondering... Well, never mind, Robert. Tell me about your epiphany.
Well, you know how every year, just before Christmas, one of the turkeys disappears. Or sometimes it's one of the geese. And once it was 2 ducks.
Yes?
Well, it's always been a mystery to me, but I've finally solved it.
Oh dear, Robert. Have you really?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Have you noticed that it's always the fattest birds that disappear?
I have noticed that.
So that must mean that they're eating more than the rest of the flock.
Or gaggle.
I beg your pardon?
Geese come in gaggles.
Why do they wear goggles?
They don't. The collective noun for geese is a gaggle.
Oh, all right then. They're eating more than the rest of the flock or gaggle.
Or flush.
Oh, what?
Turkeys come in a flock, geese come in a gaggle, ducks come in a flush.
Really? What do sheep come in?
Herds,
What about horses?
herds,
Cows?
herds.
Aardvarks?
That's enough, Robert. Are you going to tell me about your epiphany or not?
Oh yes, my epiphany. Well, if the birds are fatter than the rest of the flock, or gaggle, or flush, or whatever, they must be eating more food than the others.
That makes sense.
Well, the farmer doesn't want his animals to be short on food, does he? I mean, think of all the swill he dumps into your trough every day.
Must you call it that, Robert?
Sorry, Paco. The swill he dumps into your feeding station every day.
No, not the word trough. Oh, never mind. Your epiphany?
Right, yes. So the farmer doesn't want the other birds to starve, so he takes the fat ones away and puts them on a diet.
That's your epiphany, Robert? The farmer takes the fat birds away and puts them on a diet?
Exactly. Because if he left them with the others and tried putting them on a diet, why, they'd just stuff themselves when he's not looking.
I simply don't know what to say.
Genius, isn't it? And I'm quite sure you never worked that one out.
I have to admit, Robert, the idea never even entered my head.
So, you see, you're not the only brainiac around here. Now then, what was all that about a happy epiphany?
Ah, well, I was wishing you a happy season of Epiphany. We're celebrating the arrival of the Magi, the wise men who followed the star from the east to worship the Christ child and give him their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
A bit late with their Christmas presents, were they?
That's not the point, Robert. The point is, they somehow knew that star was special, that it appeared at the time a baby was born who was destined to be King of the Jews. And we call it Epiphany because that's what the Magi experienced when they arrived at Jesus' home.
You mean they knew about those fat birds before I did?
No, Robert. I mean that when they saw the baby, they suddenly understood that he wasn't only King of the Jews, he'd come to save everyone who chose to worship him, including them. They weren't Jewish, but they recognized Jesus as their king too. It was the greatest epiphany the world has ever known.
I suppose it is rather more astounding than overweight fowl.
Yes, Robert, much more. But I still think you have a wonderful imagination. And don't forget, Jesus is your Savior too. Yours, mine, Betty's, the farmer's. Jesus reigns in the heart of everybody who loves him. Don't you think that calls for a happy Epiphany greeting?
Indeed it does, Paco. Although I don't know why you can't just say Happy New Year like everyone else.
Happy New Year, my friend. Oh, and by the way, the word is armory.
What word?
The collective noun for aardvark. It's armory, with a double A as in aardvark.
And the collective noun for pigs is smarty pants.